Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Tailgate Show. Mockout Monday, draft week, gentlemen. What is going on? I got Airjer and Bear Down Loyal. Boys, how's it going?
I just can't wait for you to show me your massive mock. Oh God!
Oh,
I'll show you mine.
yeah. So
we're gonna. Is it a mock off?
Yeah, what we're gonna do is go through our mocks individually. We had some people submit some mocks. Just kind of kick it and see where we ended up, and hopefully some of the guys we want here pulls the trigger on.
Oh,
So
pulling the trigger on the mocks.
yeah, man. So you want me to? I'll just get into mine real quick, and then move on to Jer and then Biscuits. Want to roll like that? All right.
Yeah,
So
that's fine.
I want to.
I mean,
go ahead.
follow our socials.
What's that?
Follow our socials at the Tailgate Show and look for us on Linktree and like, subscribe, and comment.
All right. So Jer's doing the wrap up before the start.
We'll do that too. We're doing it all, man.
I hear you.
This mock
So
mock's got me all flustered, man.
I'm glad you're excited, big fella. So
So
what I did was I just went on Draft Network. We all picked different sites. So at pick 39, I picked Quay Walker, linebacker out of Georgia. I was surprised.
Wow.
I was surprised.
Linebacker, huh?
I was surprised he was there. I think he's
At
probably
39.
the third. I do. I think he's probably the second or third best linebacker in this draft. I think he fit the will position perfectly for us. He's rangy. He's got good lateral movement from what I watched. He can hang with running backs, tight ends, and he was one of the main communicators on Georgia's defense, called audibles, all that stuff. I just think he'd be a really good fit, especially for the defense that Flus wants to run. 48. This was tough for me because I was in between the dude from UConn, the big defensive lineman there, but I ended up picking Christian Watson. I've said enough about.
He continues to fall in mock drafts, and I just don't.
Well, it's the catching, the drops. So I've always thought that's something that can be coached up. 6'4" and fast as he is, can't be. I'm willing to take the risk on that because he has a shitload of potential. I like how he accelerates quick too. He takes long strides and gets faster as he goes. I really like him. Chris is saying Watson will be a best, but
we got one. Scott Crawford in the chat. He says Tyler Linderbaum, no matter what.
If he falls, it's a possibility, right? But yeah, I like Watson, and he's played football since he's 3 years old, so there is that.
Oh.
No, but I do. I like him. 71, I picked Darian Kennard, the guard out of Kentucky. This kid, man, you want to talk about fitting into like what all the things Poles and Flus talked about. The kid, raw power, nasty temperament, gets a wide base chair. You like that?
Mm-hmm.
He has really good hips, but the kid's a freaking. He'd be great for us. And I was surprised.
You think he can get out on that second level?
Yeah, I like him. But see what happens there. Pick 148. I picked Tyson Anderson, safety out of Toledo. Now this kid, Biscuits, you'll like. His RAS was like 9.69. It's 24th out of the 778 tested since 1987.
He's about that RAS.
He's a hitter. He can blitz off the edge. They call him a tight end eraser. Go figure. Since we already got one of those.
Let's go back to back on the tight end eraser.
I think that a safety. I at that spot, I was looking into the kid. I'm like, yeah, I like what he brings to the table. And at 150, I got Haskell Garrett, the defensive tackle from Ohio State, played 3 tech. He's fast. He's a tough kid. There was a situation. I guess he got shot in the face. 2 months later, he's back playing. Like, this kid is all about ball. He was a team captain. He led the team in sacks.
Damn.
Yeah,
Shot in the face.
Well, yeah, man, it's crazy, but
That's nuts, dude.
yeah.
Bring
He
my
just,
It's
just
the
glossed
back.
over that. He's like, "Oh, I just shot in the face."
just
Keep
got
No,
his
shot
I'm
in
shoulders
just
back
back
out.
like
out.
it's just that's his mindset though. Like even things off the field that happen, like he wants to get back, and he's a tough kid. We need that. We need that defensive line interior. So somebody I really liked at that position in the draft. And last but not least, 186, I picked Jalen Naylor, wide receiver out of Michigan State. At that late in the
A
draft,
couple times.
he's a home run hitter. He transfers his speed and cuts. He can catch while breaking stride. Willing blocker, and he has some kick return experience. So I think somebody that can be a weapon like that late. We need receivers, man. So that's my
The
my
Diddy
pick.
mock draft, man, that's interesting. That Watson that low
At 48.
yeah, it's still, to me, that's still surprising. And I like the Kennard pick. I really do. I think, I think there's a theme here. You went linebacker first. I think it kind of goes to our whole mindset that linebacker is a position where we're going to need more help at.
Yeah.
Linebacker, you picked a safety,
Yeah, and I was expecting to pick a linebacker first, but I'm like, okay, he's available. Like,
Yeah, the scenario, I mean, I think you played it the same way I played it, in that the board kind of dictated what your movement was going to be.
right. And
which is exactly how I played mine.
And at 48, Watson was the best receiver. I do like him a lot, but he was the best receiver available at that point, the way my mock fell. I didn't have,
Right.
there was a drop off after that.
Surprised your man crush wasn't on there.
Watson's been my guy since
Your second
January.
man crush.
Oh, Pierce. Yeah. What are you gonna do? So what do you got, Jer? How'd your mock fall?
Well, my mock, I have two trade backs.
Was it a big? So it was a big mock.
It was a massive mock.
Ooh.
Massive. Huge, as they like to say. Okay, at 39, here's how it fell to me. At 39, Dotson, Watson, and Pickens were all there.
Oh, wow.
And I felt comfortable at that spot at 39. It's like, you know what? I'm going to trade back 3 spots. I'm going to see what I can get. So I ended up trading with Indy for the 42nd and 122nd pick. So ended up with Watson from North Dakota State. 6'5", 240, or what was he, 210. Runs a legit 4.36. That's a run-heavy offense.
Yeah.
So, if you're a run-heavy, what do you got to do as a receiver in a run-heavy offense? You better block. You better fucking block, or you'll be sitting on the bench. The guy obviously can block. He's just fast and big. I mean, he's got all the raw talent you'd need. I kept the 48th pick. I said it fell to me, and I went offensive tackle. I went Tyler Smith from Tulsa. All the intangibles. The 6'6", 332. Pretty athletic guy, but he's got to keep his hands in. He's got some serious mechanics problems that will have to be coached out of him. Like if he gets beat on the outside, he likes to take his hand and come over the top of the shoulder pads and almost tug. It's like, dude, you can't do that in the NFL. You're going to get called for holding every time. He's a little bit of a project, and I know nobody wants to hear a project at 48, but he's got every other skill set that you want for that position. He's big, physical, good feet. The one thing that happens is his punch. He's got a good inside punch, but what happens is his punch it's not strong enough. It's good, not great.
I think throw up Chris's comment in the chat. Tyler Smith as a tackle or a guard.
I think you start him at tackle, and if it doesn't work out, you can bust him to guard. That's a question that's been asked a lot of him. Certain networks have him at guard, others have him at tackle. So in my mock draft that I did, he was listed as a tackle. So, with the 71st pick, this was just me getting other picks. I decided I was going to trade out of that pick. I traded Houston 71 and 148 for 80 and 107. And at 80, I got linebacker Troy Anderson from Montana State.
Okay.
He's
That's a low key sleeper pick right there. That kid's nasty, bro.
quarterback, linebacker, and a running back at Montana State.
Yeah.
Fast. The one thing that I like about the idea of that guy is quarterbacks are looking to beat zones, right? If you're a linebacker with the knowledge of what a quarterback could have the knowledge of, I could be sneaky good.
Yeah, I like him as a prospect, big fan. That's a good one.
And he's quicker than you would think. You know, obviously he can outrun many defensive players. You know, it's a guy that's heavily decorated for Montana State. So now this is the Biscuit pick. This one's for you, Biscuits. With the next pick, I took
Hunter Matt Arizona.
No. I took Isaiah Likely, the tight end out of Coastal Carolina.
Good pick.
6'4", 240. Decent route runner. Willing blocker on the in space. Not exactly the fastest guy. If I was going to compare him to somebody that I've seen on the Bears before, I'd almost say, like, in my opinion, Desmond Clark-ish.
Ooh.
I mean, not the fastest guy. He gets in open areas. I think that's a guy that you could.
I sort of
You
like
know.
that comp, chair. That's not bad.
I was hoping he was like I had him available in the mock also, but then I looked into it, like the speed. I was like, okay, maybe he could convert to receiver because he has
ran
that
a
skill
4.8.
set. Right, 4.8 kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you put the pads on though, and you get him in space 4.8, and you're not getting caught from behind. I mean, Emmitt Smith didn't have the biggest 4.8, but you didn't see him get caught from behind too much.
Yeah, he had a Hall of Fame. Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, he wasn't the fastest guy.
He had a Hall of Fame offensive line in front of him.
Did you see him getting caught from behind a lot?
Man, we
No,
went
you
from
didn't.
Isaiah Likely to Emmitt Smith.
No, but I'm just saying, you know, if you've got that space, you get
Put him at
that.
running back.
Isaiah's gold jacket ready, boys. He's
Put him at
going
running
in the
back,
hall.
fellas.
With our offensive line, pretty much rivals that '90s Cowboys. So yeah,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
do it.
Yes, obviously.
Absolutely.
No, I love that picture. I love it.
Thank you. Now with 122 for that I got from the Colts, I ended up with Mario Goodrich, a cornerback from Clemson, 6 foot tall. Yes, thank you, Chris. Game speed. That's what we're looking at. Game speed. But anyway, I ended up with Mario Goodrich, 6 foot. Ran a 4.5, 240. Physical and coverage. A lot of guys think he's going to be a better zone corner, which would be a pretty good fit if you're running a cover 2. You run cover 2 zone behind him. 48 tackles, 9 passes defense, 2 picks last year. And he also plays special teams, you know. I think it's another thing that I was looking for is versatility. When you get past a certain point, you got to be able to do more than one thing, you know. And he fits that bill. He can play your special teams. He can get down the field on a punt and make a tackle. So, now we're in the junk time. My next pick I had was 150. I ended up with Tyreek Smith from Ohio State. 6'3", 254. He was second team All Big Ten. 26 tackles, 5 for loss, and 3 sacks.
What position?
Edge. He's an edge guy. Started his freshman year. You know, anytime you're starting as a freshman at Ohio State, that's pretty damn good. Probably more of a project. Probably another guy that you'd have to build around and work with. But he's fast off the edge. I mean, he's got a decent shoulder dip. He's got a decent rip. Nothing spectacular. I mean, for as maligned as the Ohio State defense was at times, he's shown through and made some good plays. Had, you know, caused some turnovers. It's good. And my last pick, this one's for me.
I already know what's coming.
Micah McFadden from IU.
I'm shocked.
At 186. Hey, man. 6'1", 240, instinctual. Great closing speed. 2020 third team All-American. First team All-Big Ten 2021. 77 tackles, 15.5 tackles for loss, 6.5 sacks. Second team All-Big Ten. There's some talent there, boys, though. Now let's think about this. You know, Tyreek Smith's second team All-Big Ten at the edge position. Who are the other two? They're going in the first 2 rounds. Ojabo and I'm getting shit. I'm getting shit from the chat. That's great.
Chris, I didn't even put any Notre Dame guys in here. He's just being selfish.
Because there's
I didn't draft any Coastal guys in my draft.
No, but at 186, I'd definitely take that shot.
186, Indiana bred. Yeehaw!
So that's my mock draft. It was great.
Someone cue that soundbite. I like it. Pony.
Well, I think it just goes to show that I think, in my opinion, you have to acquire more picks this draft. If it's as deep as they say it is, you know, there's gonna be ability to move around, and we need to find a way.
You know, I'm all about trading back. I know that makes Diddy's head explode a little bit, but I would have to agree with you.
I wanted to trade back at 71. It's just the way the Draft Network set up. I'm not trying to pay extra to trade back. So, but I did Draft Network purposely because I wanted us to all do different networks and see how it came out. So, Biscuits, this is your season here, man. I mean, this guy right here, before he starts, let me just intro you into the world of Biscuits. He watches all 7 rounds every pick, right? Hardcore. So we're gonna give you the spotlight here, and let's see what you did with
full screen him. Is that what you say? Full screen him.
You can full screen a blank screen if you want. Go. Pick 39. By the way, I used PFF mock simulator. So at pick 39, I got an offer from the Colts, and I took it, moved back 3 spots. So for pick 39, I acquired pick 42, pick 73 in the 3rd round, and pick 159 in the 5th round. It cost me pick 39 and a round 3 next year in 2023. And with the 42 pick, I took Jalen Petrie, cornerback
from Baylor.
I do think it fills a glaring need at cornerback 2 in this team. He can play outside, but he can also play slot if they prefer Thomas Graham on the outside as well. He's got exceptional intangibles. Baylor's coach, Dave Arnada, actually labeled him as an impact player and who's likely to be a star at the next level. Of course, a lot of that's probably coach speak, but he's got high football character, high football IQ, plays faster than his timed 40 speed, and he's got really, really good instincts. Very, very proactive in run support.
Yeah, we need a video, man. The fans are calling.
He's reading it off the computer.
Listen. I'm actually reading it off my phone. I took notes on my phone since I was rushed today,
Nice.
according to our start time.
You're welcome.
At pick 48, I took my man crush of this draft, my favorite wide receiver, not named Garrett Wilson.
Oh.
And that is South Alabama's Jalen Colbert.
Yes.
A guy that I've talked about here on quite a bit. He's, 6'1", 194, runs a 4.49 40, but again, plays faster, game speed. Very good route runner, really good jamming off the line, fighting through that, good footwork. Probably needs to work on a little bit of his short to intermediary routes, but maybe not a guy who's going to house call it, but he's got a lot of yak potential. In the 3rd round, Pick 71, I went with guard from Memphis, Dylan Parham.
Oh, I've watched him.
I really like him. Big kid, 6'3", 311. He was actually recruited as a tight end, believe it or not, and they moved him to
Really?
guard. But highly experienced, very, very good in the run game. He's a 4-year starter, can play either left or right guard. He's got decent footwork, short, choppy steps, unlocks his hips very well, and he's really good at getting to the second level, which I think will help in this power gap scheme that we're going to be going to.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Hit me with
I'm
it.
going to ask you both a question. Do 4-year starters in the draft worry you that they haven't already been into this draft cycle before?
No.
Okay.
I think that's a fair question, but I would look at it as the other way around. I would much rather go after a guy who did not come out early for a paycheck and instead stayed in school to develop a little bit more as a player. I think a lot of guys coming out in the draft would be better served staying in school a year or two longer, in my opinion.
I mean,
Really?
yeah, like we watched we watched and listened to the coverage of the Senior Bowl. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of talent there. I have no problem with 4-year guys.
I just, it's always kind of one of those things. Like when you get down to a certain level, obviously, you get past like the 3rd or 4th round. 4-year seniors are just, you just wonder about, in my opinion.
I mean, I don't think Parham's going to be a guy that's ever going to be a top 5 guard in the league, but he can be a solid, reliable 8-year starter. And I think that's what I'm looking for in the 3rd to 5th round is if can a guy give me 6 to 8 years of quality starting experience? Doesn't have to be a top 5, but can he solidify that line? I think he's a guy that can come in and start right away. Personally, now my evaluation ultimately means nothing. Scouts know obviously way more than me, but I look at a guy that makes very little mistakes. Technique wise is pretty far along for a guy who will be there in the 3rd round. So yeah, that's from the 3rd to the 5th round. That's what I look for. Guys that can give 6 to 8 years of quality, above average starting potential. And with pick 73 in the 3rd round, which I acquired from the Colts, I took Diddy's man crush, wide receiver, Cincinnati, Alec Pierce.
Oh wait,
and doubled up. So we come out of this draft with, obviously we have Darnell Mooney already in place, but now we also have Jalen Tolbert and Alec Pierce giving us a 3-headed wide receiver monster. Big wide out, plays strong. He's tough working over the middle of the field. Really, I think uses his frame quite well in contested catches situation. Always has, for whatever reason, a knack to separate from guys. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he will get separation quite often. I think he's a guy that's probably rising up draft boards. He ran a 4.41 40. You don't when you watch him play, I don't think you really see that come through. But he's fast and he gets open. He's got a pretty good catch radius, and I just like him. He's gritty, real blue collar, real bring your lunch pail to work kind of guy. First in, last out.
Are we talking about Pierce right now?
We're talking about Pierce, yeah.
You didn't say student of the game though.
Oh, I was getting to that. That was gonna be the cherry on top, man. So yeah, that's who I used to acquire. I wanted to double dip and get 2 impact wide receivers before the end of the 3rd. I think it's well worth giving up a 3rd round pick next year in a draft where we will have more draft capital. And you two know I'm not a big proponent of giving up draft capital, but in this case, I thought the value just made too much sense. Next pick is without a 4th rounder. Round 5, 148. This is going to be a very.
That's a long time out. That's a long space from 73 to 148 without.
It is.
Now during my draft, that was my thought process is, I want to fill that gap
Yeah, you
with
do.
a pick somewhere. Yeah, I do. It's buzzwords. It's all
Short
about
and fat,
buzzwords.
but it fills the gap.
But you know what I mean? It's like, for
No,
me,
I agree with you.
I don't want to go that long without a pick.
Yeah, in a perfect situation, I think we're moving back off of one of those seconds and picking up a fourth. I would completely agree with you, Pony. Just the way that it kind of worked out, there was a run on guards and tackles there in the third, and the next one that I had on my board was pretty far down. I just think it's, coming out of this draft with 2 wide receivers. I still think it for not blocking for Justin, I don't think it matters who the hell we're throwing the ball to. So to me, it was just important to get at least a guy who can step right in and solidify one of those guard spots.
I get you.
So now, taking a page from Pony's book, my last 4 picks are all high upside guys that are going to need some time. But pick 148 in the 5th round, tackle out of North Dakota, Matt Waletzko. Anybody?
North Dakota or North Dakota State?
North Dakota. This guy is your definition of a project. He's probably more projected for the 6th or 7th round. I took him in the 5th. This dude is absolutely huge. That's what she said. He is 6'8", 312, and he's got a 78-inch wingspan. His arms themselves measure 35 inches.
Damn.
Blocks with a nice wide base. He's
massive. 6'8", 315. He's got a natural wide base.
Watching this guy, and the hardest thing to project with this guy is obviously he's playing at North Dakota, so talent level, he's going to take quite a step up, but he was just manhandling guys.
Is this your Ed Shaheen?
This is not my Ed Shaheen. This guy is not as talented as Ed Shaheen. You're welcome, Diddy. But some think that he can play right tackle. I think he's probably better suited for guard, personally.
That's a big ass guard at 6'8", dude.
It is.
You have to get low.
But he played a little bit of guard there in North Dakota and looked like an absolute monster.
You can get away with that at North Dakota. I don't think you can get away with that in the NFL, dude.
You could be 6'8" playing guard.
Remember the 6'8" guy we got from Pittsburgh to play defensive tackle? And the biggest problem, McCullers. Yeah. What was his biggest problem? He couldn't get his pad height.
Leverage. Yeah, you don't see a lot of guards that tall.
Dude, he's a tackle. If you draft him, he's a tackle.
Well, Lance Zierlein seems to think that he can play right guard or right tackle.
Lance Zierlein, well, fuck me.
Well, I'm just saying, I think the guy knows more than me. That's all I'm going to say there. Followed up, round 5, pick 150. Home run hitter for the offense. And I know this is probably the one position on offense we're super deep in, but I thought the value was really good. Running back out of South Dakota State. I took a lot of Dakota guys. Pierre Strong Jr. This dude is...
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard that guy's name.
4.37 40. Real home run hitter. He had 10 career rushing touchdowns of at least 50 yards or longer. Has a tremendous burst through the hole. Pause.
Right.
Really, really good vision. The one thing that sort of a knock against him is he sometimes will not pick the hole and go. He kind of likes to dance a little bit in the backfield, which gets him in trouble. But he can catch the ball out of the backfield. I think he could be that third down sort of Tariq Cohen type back. Yeah, thank you, Chris. Kyle Long is 6'7". Thank you.
Kyle Long went to
Thank
Oregon.
you very much. Chris.
He's listed
to Oregon.
Yeah, y'all just had to like 6'8" out of the question. What was
He's listed at 6'6", but whatever. We'll call him Kyle Short for now.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he went to Oregon. Oregon's different than going to fucking nowhere state university.
Well, yeah,
I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong.
I don't know why we're talking this long about somebody this late in the draft. Biscuits, keep going, buddy.
hey, listen, nothing
This
gets
is money
me
rounds.
going, okay? Like these high upside project guys in rounds 5.
Oh, I know, but I'm not here to dispute you on a pick that late with a guy with upside.
This is where GMs make their money. How do you think Ryan Pace hung on to his job for so long? Some of these late round gems. In the 5th round, pick 159. Jer, come on down. You've already done the analysis. Linebacker out of Indiana.
Yes, sir.
Micah McFadden. I do agree with what Jer said. I think if he's there in the late 5th, early 6th, I don't know how you pass up on that value. And we definitely have a need at the linebacker position. Jer, do you think he has any sort of special teams utility to him as well?
He's fast enough. He could get down and cover.
Okay. And to finish off my mock, round 6, pick 186, another project tackle from North Dakota State.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, I've seen some North Dakota State footage.
Cordell Volson.
75, left tackle or right tackle?
Left tackle. But he's probably flipping to right tackle when he gets to the league here. Big kid again, 6'6", 315. Is that tall enough to play tackle, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
By your metrics?
All day.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
That's right.
Broad shoulders, thick frame. Very thick.
Yes.
3-year starter. They did kick him in at guard as well while he was there. Very fluid in space as a blocker. I think one of the things you're going to see with this power gap scheme is you got to have linemen move in space. Strong core, good balance. Again, the biggest thing with him, just like the kid from North Dakota, is going to be the step up in the level of competition. Needs to work on his hands a little bit more. He's got a good first punch, but he allows guys to get hands on him inside of him.
Pause.
Needs to shoot the
No
hands.
doubt. Super pause.
And like Jermaine Ifedi, he has a
Real
tendency
team
to get
guy,
beat.
huh?
Jesus Christ. Like Ifedi, he has a tendency to get beat inside because he oversets his feet off the snap. And that, my friends, is my mock. But I think I've come away with 4 quality starters with my first 4 picks. With Petrie, Tolbert, Parham, and Pierce.
I like that Pierce.
I like
guys.
That's sneaky good.
There you
And
go.
the Biscuits is
I
back.
returned from witness protection.
Did you butter the biscuits with that Tolbert pick?
I did actually. I ran to the podium from
There
the.
you go.
Who was your favorite pick in your mock draft? I mean, when you were doing it, it was like, oh man, I can't believe this person's here.
I mean Tolbert. Let's be honest. I've been talking about him now for 2 months.
Right.
It was Tolbert or Pierce. After you get past the first round of wide receivers, those would be the 2 guys that I get really excited about. I do like Watson, but the drops do concern me a bit. I think he's got all the physical tools you can have. I think get him on a jugs machine right away.
Exactly. That's kind of my thought with him. Like the drops, you can coach those out. You can't coach the 6'4" in that speed. That's just
No, those are things you can't teach, obviously.
BK with the best advice ever. Never start in sentence with like Ifedi.
And Jerry, you asked that question about like the guys you were surprised. Quay Walker, I really like at 39.
Yeah.
I do. Of course, I like Watson and that Kennard kid. I hope we end up landing him too. Hopefully he's there. But so you're gonna be reading a draft. Who'd you get, Jerry? Sorry, answer your own question. Who were you surprised that was there?
Oh, my own question was honestly the Coastal tight end. I was surprised he was there at 107. You know, it's a pretty productive cat in an offense. I mean, we crack on Coastal a little bit, but they had a damn good record. It was a good offensive team.
Two talented wide receivers, and he was still getting his share too.
Yep.
And
now
so,
I don't know if that's from just sheer
the power of Grayson McCall, baby.
And we also had some submitted drafts from some listeners and friends. And Jer, why don't you start off with somebody that's actually in the chat right now?
Yeah, Chris in the chat. She shot me one.
And thank you for submitting those people.
First of all, I'm going to say thank you to the ones that took the time to submit your draft to us. And we're just going to go through it, and we appreciate you. So here we go.
We're not reading them all. We're only reading a couple. So
no, but Chris knows her shit, so I'm curious to see what she came up with.
Definitely.
She posted this online too. So with the first pick, she took her exact words is, "I swear to God, I was looking for Pickens and about died when I saw this player." With the 39th pick, she ended up with Drake London from USC.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, that would be a hell of a fall. That's excellent value there at 39.
Oh yeah. I was looking at receivers starting in December, and he was falling in the second back then, but then he just skyrocketed up everybody's mocks. So yeah, that'd be awesome.
With her next pick, she ended up with another wide receiver, John Meaty from Alabama.
I like
roll damn time.
I like the double up.
I'd be happy with it.
Now, if we get interesting, she took the third round pick that we got and sent it back to the Chargers for pick 79 and round 4, pick 129. So the 79th pick, she took interior offensive lineman Cole Strange from UT Chattanooga.
Ooh.
It's an interesting guy. I think I've seen a little bit on him. It's a big kid.
No, Chris looking for some Strange, huh?
There you go. There it is. There it is.
Hey-o.
And now another guy I've seen on here, another Bama boy, went Bama hard. 123 took Josh Jobe, the cornerback from Alabama. Interesting. You can't go wrong with drafting Alabama. You just can't. You know, they got hella talent up and down that roster. Yep. Yes, we do. Yeah. 148 took Spencer Burford from UT San Antonio. 150, it's Marquise Bell from Florida A&M safety.
Yeah, I like that pick.
Yeah, that one. That's a name that's been thrown around there quite a bit on Bears Twitter. And then finally at 186, Cordell Flott. Is it Flott? Flott. Cornerback, LSU. You just can't. I mean, the talent is so deep at SEC schools, man. There's a good chance if you get a guy that's, you know, just a little bit and has a few flashes, they're going to be able to produce the NFL.
I really like Cole Strange.
Bell is a missile. I mean, it's a pretty impressive list. Maybe I should.
Yeah, that is solid, Chris. Good, nice work on that. So I've got a submission from Seth at Elliott Seeth, Seeeth, and he did Draft Network at 39. He somehow Traylon Burks was there at 39. Yeah. I was like,
what simulator did Chris use?
Let me see. It's the same one I used.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, did he?
No,
I just wanted to see if that was the same simulator, because that's now two pretty big wide receivers that have dropped super far.
I'm not sure of it. I can't think of the name right off the top of my head. It's Pro Football Draft. I don't know.
Chris will let me know in the chat.
Chris will let us know in the chat here shortly, I'm sure.
All right, hit it, Jimmy. Sorry.
Yeah, so Dots has been dropping too in mocks. I'm not saying there's any accuracy to what's going on in the league, but the kid from Penn State.
NFL mock draft, okay.
Traylon Burks was Seth's first pick at 39. 6'2", contested. He's good at contested catches. He's a solid blocker. I'd be amazed if he was there at 39 personally. 48, he picked Quay Walker. 71, he picked Zach Tom, offensive tackle. 148, he picked Bo Melton, the wide receiver.
Bo Melton, where's he from?
He didn't have the mock he did. It was just positions I didn't take the time to go
Okay.
through. I've heard of Bo Melton's name mentioned several times. Very fast, gets defenders turned up pretty good. At 150, it was Joshua.
Ruggers.
Okay,
Sorry, he's Ruggers.
Joshua Zidu, interior offensive lineman. And 186 for him was safety Verone McKinney, the third. And then we have
really like Zach Tom, by the way, tackle from Wake Forest.
And this is the answer. The NFL mock draft is what it's called.
Yeah.
NFL mock draft. That's a really sleek little site. If you get a chance, check it out.
NFL.com.
Just NFL mock draft. It's just NFL mock draft. NFLmockdraft.com. Can't get the words out of my mouth today. Fuck.
Appreciate that plug there. So we have a submission here from this guy that does this pod called Coop's Corner on our network.
Oh, hey. It's nice to see you can make it.
I will say this, man. Yaku brought the heat. Because he started off straight out the gate, trading back at 43. He got Christian Watson, wide receiver, North Dakota State.
See that? Now that's okay. Let's just compare. Each time Watson's been there in all of these. Using different Christian Watson. He's been there at 40, 42, 43 each time.
Yep. So at 71, he picked Abraham Lucas, the offensive tackle from Washington State. At 76, he picked Daniel Falele, offensive tackle, Minnesota.
Did I miss one of his second round picks?
He traded back.
Oh, gotcha.
He started at 43, so I don't know exactly what the trade back ended up netting, but at 100, so there you go. Picked up Darian Kennard, which I was surprised he was there at 100.
Wow.
Okay, the guard from Kentucky.
I like what he's doing here. You get the tackle and you get the guard. Bam, bam.
I think Coop's submitting a mock draft from like 3 months ago. This board seems
you know what? I'd be happy with the way it's fallen though. 114, he picked Damon Clark, linebacker LSU.
Okay.
150, he picked Tyquan Thornton, wide receiver Baylor. He's 6'2", fast, good hands, good blocker. 168, he picked up Marquise Bell, same as Chris.
Right.
185, he picked up Kellen Deach, offensive tackle, Arizona State.
Jesus. We have a whole new line now.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the plan.
186, he picked up Vincent Gray, the cornerback from Michigan. And at 203, he picked up Bubba Bolden, safety from Miami.
Ooh,
damn.
So, cool, man.
That's a lot of linemen. I like the idea that you get the tackle and you pair him with a Kennard that you really like from Kentucky.
Did we hear no wide receivers in that draft?
Oh, you got Christian Watson.
Was Watson out there?
He went with Watson and Tyquan Thornton from Baylor.
Okay.
Yeah, a solid draft.
Yeah.
I'd be very happy. I just don't. I'm surprised Kennard was there at 100. We'll see how that works.
Yeah.
But what are the chances that any one of us gets any of these picks right? 0.
We'll be back to brag about it next week if we do.
That's right.
If we get a draft is right, I'm fuck this pod. I'm gonna go out and buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah, I'm gonna break my arm, patting myself on the back.
And to answer Chris's question, does anyone have the nads to draft that punter from San Diego? I would love, Matt. Is it Ariaza? I can't pronounce it correctly. That dude can punt. We're probably going to be doing a lot of it this year. Why not?
Undrafted.
I think he's going to go in the 6th or 7th round, personally. He reminds me of, funny to say that, reminds me of that punter, was it Dixon, that Seattle took?
Yep.
Dude's got a hell of a leg on him, man.
I'd be fine with a punter.
I would not hate if Poles did that in the 7th round.
Hate to say it, I'd be fine with a quarterback late too, and that's nothing against anything. I think you should always draft one. Always have one developing.
Yeah.
The end of if he ends up being good, you have a good situation on your hands for trade value. You could always use a solid backup.
Go ahead,
Absolutely.
Jerry. Go ahead, Jer.
What? Nope.
He gave you an opening. Go ahead and take it, Jer.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna.
Come on, talk about your draft crush. A little
Oh
bit,
God, it's Bailey Zappi talk. We ain't ready for all that.
Oh, God.
62
Anyway.
touchdowns.
It's crazy. He threw 62 touchdowns. That
62
noodle arm of
touchdowns,
his,
bro.
pretty impressive.
I mean, Chad Pennington has a freaking cannon compared to him.
Chris said, "Nah, we got Simeon."
Hey, you're right. The end of discussion there. So
Can Simeon get to the Hallis Hall practice facility though? I know his car.
He's got an Uber.
Yeah, his car was stolen. Right? Welcome to Chicago.
well, at least
Yes,
he
Zappi
could
from Western Kentucky.
he could probably
That's the
drive
one.
there without having a suspended license, right?
Oh, he did a donut on the way there.
Once you pop, the fun don't stop, man.
Yeah, man. So news came out about Pringle. I stayed off Twitter when I heard it because you're gonna get the all of a sudden people start breaking it down and how the cathedral that is Hallis Hall. Like God forbid somebody makes a mistake. But you guys got anything on that? Because I mean, it's
I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit. I mean, I don't think the guy deserves to be cut or crucified or drugged through the mud or anything, but I definitely think it shows very poor decision making.
sure.
You have a suspended license, dude. You're rich. Hire a driver, drive around, and to do it with your kid in the back car, like, again, it's not like he Aaron Hernandez somebody or anything like that. It's just shows extremely poor judgment. And
As the resident
all I said.
redneck of this show, doing donuts is badass. Okay,
On a
It's
public
just like,
road
it's badass.
with a kid in the car.
It's not the
On a
smartest.
suspended
move.
license.
Okay,
You
the
just
suspended
asked him
license
for
is
trouble.
stupid. The
Oh,
suspended
yeah.
license is
Don't.
stupid.
Oh, it's okay that his kid was in the back seat.
Oh,
It's just a
Jared,
suspended
Jared.
license.
In the middle of a cornfield in West Bumfuck,
Right.
it probably that's
Right.
fine. But like on a public road with a child in the car is a little
Yeah.
irresponsible.
It's very irresponsible.
I
But
have
at
never
the
done a donut before, ever.
What?
Dude, I drive a Ford Focus and a Ford Ranger. I don't think I'm
You've never
donutting anything.
dumped it in reverse and hit the gas and cut the wheel?
No,
Oh my
before you even
God.
said that, I wouldn't even known how to
Oh
do it.
my God! See, this is the problem with America today. We
So
don't
the
know how
only-
to do donuts.
the thing with Pringle is he was young. He's had some stuff come up in the past. That's part of the reason he dropped in the draft. But the money they paid him, it's a 1-year deal. I think you still get I don't think you cut him. I don't think we're in position to get rid of potential talent now. If he doesn't make the roster legitimately, that's one thing. But
It was a 2-year deal, wasn't it?
I thought it was like fully guaranteed.
you're
with
right.
a guarantee. It's a
You're
1
right.
year.
1 year, $4 million.
Yeah. I just don't see him getting cut over this. It was stupid. But I don't want to see him cut. Like Olin even talked about it briefly today. He's like, when he first came up, he got a DUI. Like the Lance Briggs situation wasn't
Olin
great.
did? Damn, I
Yeah.
don't remember that.
But-
Oh, talking about Lamborghini around the light pole Lance?
Yeah, I mean this stuff happens. It's unfortunate. Hopefully he wises up. It's not a good look. I just hate how everybody.
all with valid driver's license, by the way.
Yeah, I hate how people pile on polls though on Twitter. Like that's why I had to just. It's polls because of Larry O and it's some things you just can't control.
Really, people
Listen,
are. I've been off Twitter, so I have not seen all that. So people are piling on polls for.
Oh, this doesn't look good. Yeah, everybody's just
Hashtag pause. Piling on polls.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But it's a mistake. It's just hopefully he wises up from it. I like to see him get a shot.
Hey, Ogunjobi's working out at Bearsford, I guess, right?
No, it was a high school in Miami or something, right?
I think it was Cleveland, I believe. That's where he's
Cleveland Heights.
from.
A high school somewhere with a Bears logo.
Correct.
Bears type logo, yes.
I
Christopher
don't understand
Columbus or
the
something.
slander against polls for that. I mean, you're limited into the amount of medical that you get access to prior to signing these guys. Once they got him in, they take a look. I would much prefer him to say, "Hey, we're not going to give this guy this money based on what we see health-wise." I mean, I just don't understand how people can fault polls for that decision. I think he made the smart choice with what limited information he had at the time.
And we may end up getting him in for cheaper than originally anticipated anyway. We don't know what was said after that. I know he took it to heart. Poles had a hard time having to tell him that, but hopefully they developed a good enough relationship where they'll bring him in for that shot if he can recover a little bit from whatever the failed physical was due to. But I'm just hoping, man, they don't have to pick. Sorry, go ahead, Jerry.
No, go ahead, man.
No, go ahead.
No, we also signed a tackle too from the Colts, didn't we?
Sure.
I have not done the deep dive on that, to be honest with you.
You got anything, Jay, on him?
He played 4 games for him. Crap, what's his name? He was a 4th-round pick. I had it right here in my head, and it's gone. Well, I mean, that tells you. I mean, it doesn't obviously change our draft strategy as fans. It's not coming in to save the world.
Well, that's it. People brought up Pringle changing draft strategy. It doesn't. Pringle isn't somebody that's going to change anything. Like he hopefully he's a solid player, but like changing the draft strategy over a guy like that is just a ridiculous thought to me.
Yeah, like Chris's comment in the chat too. They knew his foot was injured and they made a good choice on the offer and not signing him. Those things are not mutually exclusive. And Julien Davenport. Well, let's get Chris on the show. She's
we've had Chris on.
She's doing your dive.
Chris can bring it.
I think I was on with her the draft night, the night that we took Fields. I believe she was on right before I got on.
Yep.
Yeah, that was fun.
And
yeah, Julien Davenport
pick in this draft.
What? Yes.
That's our number 1 pick in this draft, Mr. Fields.
Yeah.
So well, you have to look at it that way.
I hate looking at it that way, but yes.
Well, that's what fucking Pace did to us, man.
No, what Pace did to us, like we didn't. I'm happy we got Justin.
That's the fact.
I'm not happy with everything else, but I am happy with that.
But hopefully, even if it's not any of the guys we mentioned or the people that submitted drafts mentioned, I just hope they nail all these freaking picks, man. This is a big draft for us because this is a pivotal moment in the franchise where it's time to get shit straight. So hopefully he freaking nails it, man.
BK, where was your mock at?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Disappointed in you, BK. I know. I
was looking for A's mock.
You are for this mock.
Yeah, BK, we need to have you on and evaluate some of this talent here. I want to hear some of your draftisms.
Yeah, we want to hear your buzzwords.
Yeah, them good buzzwords.
And we didn't even use sneaky athlete either. I thought that would come up with Pierce.
It's a sneaky athlete.
Yeah, there's just so many, acronyms and traits you could say for Pierce. I just ran out of time. Is AA still breathing? Haven't seen him around. He is still breathing. We allowed him to keep breathing. He will be back May 2nd. The return of the funny loud man will return.
He's been working on the back and on production and everything. He's going to come back. He's going to bring it.
We got a computer too.
So here's a question from Little Boxes. What would you trade for Fields in a dynasty league?
Ooh, fantasy.
Yeah, that's your guys' department.
For a dynasty, I wouldn't. If you believe in the player, I wouldn't trade. What would I trade for him?
I think he means trading for Fields. Yeah, so future outlook. Getting a cost-controlled quarterback. I mean,
you would have to get a.
Unless I'm misinterpreting his question, what would you trade for Fields in a dynasty league? So I'm assuming what he's looking to acquire him. Appropriate value right now is probably, I would say, maybe like a.
You'd have to get a quarterback and a running back.
Well, it depends. Wait, what? I think it depends on, obviously, value of whoever's holding him. But as of right now, his value is probably no higher than a 7th or 8th round pick. But I doubt that's going to entice anybody to give up on him. I would say you're probably looking at a 5th or 6th round pick to acquire him right now in a dynasty league, in a 12-team league.
Damn, fantasy talk.
I would just say, how nasty do you want your fantasy team to be? If you want it to be nasty, you go all in on Fields. That's it.
Well, there you go. Fantasy chat.
I'm not. As much as I like Justin, I'm not giving up a pick 1 through 5 for him.
As much as I don't like fantasy, I'm just throwing shit out there.
We're gonna get you to play fantasy this year.
I'm good, man. I got burnt out on that a while back, and then I blew up a league too. That was fun.
What do you mean you blew up a league?
Oh, I had a fire sale that triggered. Anyway.
Oh, dude, you're one of those.
Your loyalty failed you.
Man.
My team was out, man.
I hate playing fantasy football with people like you. You know, when I'm the commissioner of leagues, like I put a strict no fire sale bullshit at the end.
Yeah, I strategically fired sale to one individual just to put him over the top.
Oh, Little Boxes has him.
He wants to see what he could get for him. I don't know.
If anyone offers you a round 1 through 4 pick, I'd pull that trigger.
What's BK talking about taking my spot? All right. Okay.
We'll allow it.
Go for it.
Hey, BK, it means you're going to have to do the intros now. So,
Are you talking about draft spot or are you talking about show spot?
oh,
BK coming hard in the paint, huh? All right. Well, BK
maybe,
will be here in my spot next week.
We'll get a little DaTailgate Show listener fantasy football league going this year.
That would be interesting.
How about that? I'll throw a prize out there, paid for by Biscuit.
As long as it's not
Pro bono.
any meat cooked by you.
Yeah,
that cannot be a prize.
It's going to
Now
be a
that's-
6-month supply of the freshest cooked biscuit steaks.
I think he's
Freeze
talking about,
dried and mailed to you guys. That will be the prize.
You won't have to. There.
talking about taking my spot in fantasy football, possibly. You can have my team.
All right. Well, that's fantasy chat.
Yeah. Well, this is all fantasy. It's all been fantasy chat, man.
Yeah, no. We'll finally get answers. That's the one good thing. We'll start finally getting answers this week.
Bologna, real beef bologna.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't need the meat dust, BK. But yeah, it was cool, man. Thank you for everybody in the chat. Thank you for all the submissions for the draft, and let's just hope for the best here. I'm excited to see how it all pans out, man. At Biscuits, nobody watches it like you, bro. You're gonna be sitting in front of the TV all weekend.
7 rounds, 3 days. I'm gonna be predicting each pick before it happens.
Like every pick in the league, right?
Every pick in the draft. Yeah.
you're gonna tweet them out from the handle, right?
I will tweet every single one of them out if you guys want me to.
God, no, don't.
That'd be hilarious.
I will tweet the big ones out, though. I will tweet some big ones out.
All right.
Yeah, man. So we'll be recapping it on Monday. I don't know. We might do some spaces after the picks. We'll figure it all out. But let's all enjoy it and bear the fuck down, baby. And just another.
Chris, BK, Little Boxes, appreciate you all joining us in the chat. Did he quit fantasy because he came in last place? But we really appreciate you guys listening very much. And for
I've won leagues before. Somebody changed the scoring once on me, and quarterbacks were like scoring 60 points after the draft. Somebody changed the scoring platform. I was like, you know what? And it was a money league. I'm like,
that's a big no-no.
I'm
Yeah.
done.
Shame on your commissioner.
Exactly. So that's my protest. But that's just been another episode of the Tailgate Show.
Duh, Jalen Tolbert, no matter what.
The big, beefy, meaty, mock draft extravaganza has come to an end, folks.
Don't do donuts, people.
Peace.